Good evening to all. Myself and Miriam. We are going to start our webinar today. I take this opportunity to invite all of you to this webinar on Career Beyond Pandemic. I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Colonel George Thomas, a defense officer with over 34 years distinguished diverse and dedicated service in peace, combat and counter-terrorism. Presently, a veteran conducting training programs as a trainer of trainers for the defense servicing aspirants for the Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and civilian executives through the National Skills Development Council program and PMKVY policy initiatives. Served in 5 different arms in the Indian Army, including 4 battalion level command trenches in addition to provost marshal. Significant hands-on training and expertise in human resource management, administration, infrastructure, facilities, logistics, operations, security, intelligence, license, and a tester for pilot aptitude, including CPSS. Enterprising team leader with the ability of handling large task force in a disciplined and organized environment. Mentoring and motivating teams in optimizing performance level in a competitive environment. Exceptional troubleshooting, organizational and interpersonal skills, expertise in personal or professional counseling and public relations. Sir, I welcome you to the meeting. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to you all. I see very many pretty faces, handsome young men, the youth of this nation. Expect also to attend. I need not introduce myself as such, but I'm really proud that even after my sweet 69 years of age, I'm addressing sweet 16 and above. I'm sure that you'll be smiling the difference between sweet 16 and sweet 69. Well, yes, I have a large family. Those are in defense forces. We got Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, lecturers, professors, gynecologists, you name them. They're there in the family. Now, without much ado about my background, suffice to say that qualified enough to address you all, young and old. Those who are working, not working, those are still in PU, those are doing graduation, post-graduation. There's also those who are retired. So I'm addressing mainly the youth of this wonderful nation called India. Having traveled all over the world, having posted to various countries, having been to Israel, New Zealand, and having been in South Korea, and all these, I want to return back to India and serve the youth of this nation, the future of this nation. Let me assure you, going abroad, good. Learning abroad, good. But it's good to be back home and serve the nation as future leaders. What about leadership? Yes, leadership is already ingrained in you right from the time you are in the womb of your mother, right till the tomb. Continue traits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session. The theme of my talk to you today will be your careers post-pandemic. I say again, careers after the so-called pandemic. Yes. And I'm sure the good Lord, Jesus, will surely is in charge over all this, and they'll ensure that we go through it victorious. Ladies and gentlemen, those are just come to join this webinar. I would rather use interactive session. Now, as we go on, I would like you also to participate as much as you can. And before I continue, I would like all of you to just show me a thumbs up to indicate to me that you can hear me clearly, concisely, and I'm consistent. Please show your thumbs up that you are. Yes, just can you all hear me clearly and consistently? Anna Maria, you can hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. It's good only. We can hear you.
All right. Now, Ria, Deepak, Akash, all, Jiggy, Vinay, Shilpa, good to see you all coming up. Sandra Verghese, Sakshi, Amisha. And I'm sure others are going to join up, including Maria Joseph. That's not all pretty faces. Good to see you all. And once again, welcome. Now, rules that I would like you all to follow. Rule number one, I need group participation. I'll be doing the anchoring. And of course, Maria Chaco will be interluding in between. Number two, I would like you to recommend, suggest at the end of the session as to what all we should add on to the same subject. The subject being careers post-pandemic. Now, it will be good if you keep a paper and pencil next to you, or you got a scribble pad, that before you inquire anything from me, you note it down exactly on just looking into what you want to ask. Do raise your questions as we go by. Okay, Manoj and Alia? Right. Total time we have today is an hour, that is 60 minutes session. And those who wish to speak can speak maximum second, right? Right. No doubt so far those who have joined up. Manoj, who just joined up. Right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, let's define what is a career. There's a difference between career, job, and a profession. A career is a generic word to indicate permanent and short-term contractual jobs, as also permanent long-term jobs. Coming to profession, a profession is a long-term, full service, maybe going beyond 20 years, 30 years, end up getting retired due to superannuation and particular level of title. As in the army, you can be chief of the army staff or the CDS, and later in governance if the government allows. So is the case of academicians. They may end up being professors, or they may be mentors, or they may be academicians par excellence. As you know very well, our dear the former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, started off as a student. And I remember him meeting in St. Joseph's College in Trishnapalli, later served with him when he was the president of India. I know him. The life that he led was as an academician, ending up with India's president, the ultimate. So too can you be, right? Number three, job. A job is defined as a temporary or permanent contractual job. Engineers, contractors, project workers, including info technologists, scientists, they may work for a short while, switch jobs, and take on responsibility in other fields. Whereas in a long-term profession, it is of your life into it. For example, I was a student, did my master's in genetics, and later on, I switched onto a permanent profession called the Defense Services. Served for 35 years as a combat officer. In this period, I gained knowledge, not only academically, but also practically. Having been involved during Kargil, Sri Lanka, United Nations missions, as also been in the various academies, I realized that I have still energy to take on the royal challenge of mentoring youth like you. So I'm here with and you, Sweet 16s, listening, and I give this opportunity to your parents that are allowing you to enjoy life to its fullest. Now, let's take on way. What are the careers offered to you today? And at the same time, I'm working at 2030, 2030. As to where would you be? Where would you like to be? And beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, since the pandemic is here, let's accept it firstly. And secondly, plan our lives. Now, I would like you to ask yourself the following questions. Those who are keen to note down can also note down. Question number one, ask yourself, what am I expecting from this webinar? Am I understanding the job market better today? What are the opportunities that exist today and likely to come across me later? Next question, do you see a future in the work if you are already working? Or do you see a future in which you desire to work and want to be engaged in? And those who are working in any capacity, vocational, academic, or a long-term profession, does the existing company value your contribution and are ready to recognize your efforts in building up the company and bringing in profits? Do they tell you, or do you have to ask for a pay raise or for a higher appointment and title and perks and privileges? Or are you waiting to get an exit interview? That is, you want to resign and start your own startup or take on another company. Are you finding hard to understand next step in your career would be, or rather, after what, or after graduation, or after graduation, what do I do with my degrees? Especially for those who have already earned higher degrees, what am I do with my degree? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be answering similar questions with answers that should satisfy you at the end of this session. So my question to you is, firstly, today, are you studying? Are you working? Or are you planning to take up a profession? Number one, are you understanding the job market today? Do you understand what are the likely opportunities to rise up? And what do you see in your future? Applying for work, or wherever you're working, wherever you are presently engaged in, is the existing company honoring you, respecting you for your work, or are you waiting for an exit interview? Now, I've gone through a research program last 1 week, connecting with the world leaders, speakers, orators, and I even Googled also. And I found that the entire world is going through the cycle of this pandemic quest. Where am I and what is my next step in my career? Now let's go about how do you evaluate yourself. I would use the word, how do you evaluate yourself in bringing balance back in your life? Or rather, how are you evaluating yourself and planning to bring back balance in your family lives? Or how do you plan to bring back balance during this pandemic season, at the same time, post-pandemic, bringing balance into your lives? Now, keeping this pandemic as the threshold, let's take off like a rocket and find out what is my wish list. Okay, what is my desire? Number one, if I have to take up a job, certain parameters must be fulfilled. Number one, that I must have a flexible time for myself and the work schedule that I plan to take on. Number two, I must dump the old system of 9 to 5 into, rather, I would prefer to have 4-day work week, thus increasing better productivity. I repeat this one, that I now desire to dump the old 9 to 5 job, 5-day a week. Rather, I would prefer to have a 4-day work week, thus increasing better productivity while I can take care of myself, my health, my family, my elders, and at the same time be a productive individual. Third parameter to bring balance back in your lives should be the neighborhood co-working hubs with satellite surround to you. Thus, you'll be able to cut down travel time, exposure to infections and pollution. Also, you will be contributing to the nation's environment, overall health. The next wish list you may have is that you wish to control your work environment. That is, you want to run your lives, you want to run office, home, and your family, maybe through Zoom meetings, as also you may like to function from your home wherein the general environment is of good health and happiness. Next, you may like to include in your list of bringing balance to your lives post pandemic. Probably you would like to have relaxed dress codes. You need not be wearing the dress I am wearing with a cravat that I am wearing, a jacket, a tie, and all set. In fact, ladies, it has been worked out abroad and here. It takes about minimum 4 hours to dress up before you leave for office and 2 hours to undress by the time you return back. Next, you may rather you are not working to live. Rather, you are living first and working so that you have an overall balanced lifestyle. And of course, for those who are already working and or those MDs of companies, office space management, which will save not only money, rentals, electricity, and the various service charges that they put on you are functioning from a major office space. Finally, your interest is to save money, right? Now, with these parameters, if you're keeping it in mind, you find a job or a career in the future. Now, those who have joined me, yes, I'm covering a subject called careers post-pandemic. That is, what are you going to do during the present season and later? And I'm worked out and I work 30 and onwards. In other words, by 2030, where would you be? Ladies and gentlemen, let's compare positive of remote working. Now, what is the remote working? Remote working is functioning at the place wherein you are comfortable, maybe your home, maybe your hometown, maybe your community, maybe you're gone to a center wherein 4 of the partners of yours are working for a profession. Let's check first positives. The positive already mentioned that you live your own lifestyle. You can take care of your children, siblings, parents, elders while you're still working from home. Number 3, you may feel as if you are able to be more productive from home. You don't have to worry about the dress codes that you normally would like to wear when you go to the office. Saving time, travel, avoiding infections, at the same time saving money, otherwise being lost in travel time and expenditure involved. Apart from that, you already know the advantages. However, let me bring to you the negatives working from home, or what we call it as remote working. Ladies and gentlemen who have just joined us, we are covering this subject, careers post pandemic. Right? Are you with me, all of you? You can show me thumbs up. Those right. Here we go. What are the negatives working from home or working? One, there are potential distractions at home. If health, office deadlines increase, and you are under tremendous pressure working from home, and then you find kittus, mittus, alliance lining up and distracting you from continued work at home. Number two, lack of camaraderie and mentorship, which you would have otherwise received at the office. Camaraderie is what is called as colleagues working with you would support you both mentally as also in your work. That camaraderie you miss out when you are working from home. I was trying to tell you about the positives and negatives in remote working. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave out the positives of remote working, but I am going to repeat the negatives if you work from home or you wish to do remote working. Number one, the potential distractions at home may affect your own health and you are not able to meet office deadlines, thus causing interrupted stress in you. Number two, lack of camaraderie and mentorship for your self growth. Since you're at home, you're not able to communicate or meet with your peers and meet with your colleagues who could share with you their experience and talent. Number four, you'll be missing personal touch with talents existing in the office. You'll find others, those who are there to build you up, at the same time assist you in completing your projects or your plans as an MD to build up young talent. Next is, this is very important, what I'm going to tell you. There's a fear of being forgotten. You're at home, your other colleagues are reported, and with the result that you tend to feel that you have been out of this circle, and that the ground employees, those who are coming, and there are certain percentage of ground employees with the MD of a company or any office would like them to report. And those employees will always have an upper hand while you're working in the office. Thus, a class culture would take place, wherein there is a remote group, working group, and there is one those who are on ground in the office. Chances are that you may have a certain break in communication. Next is tech-heavy video conferencing has its own negatives. The tech-heavy video conference is here to stay, yes, like the way we are doing now. However, in a tech video conferencing, you won't get enough time to voice your concerns. In fact, recently an analysis was carried out in an apartment complex of about 100 apartments. They were having their annual meeting, and there were certain dissenters in terms of certain policies being promulgated, and they found that they could not voice their genuine concern, which could not reach the community heads. In turn, they left half-hearted the meeting, saying that we cannot afford or cannot enjoy a tech-heavy conference. Rather, we should meet in the upper room of the auditorium. Well, these are things which can be sorted out with mutual understanding. Next is reinventing, if not done, may lose top talent. What happens in companies that you wish to work or universities, colleges that you wish to apply for, you will find that unless you accommodate yourself with the requirement of the organization, you may lose your own talent being exposed or hiring talent. The next point negative about remote working is the emotional distancing and missing release of yourself amongst your own friends through sharing, which was being done earlier. We noticed that 70% of those who are employees, those who are coming to the office, will return back to their home refreshed, not only mentally, but also an exposure to a different environment which build them up emotionally. Because at home, the common environment would always either build you up or that you tend to be a little depressive. Finally, the negative that you remote controlling brings in is the peer group pressure. The peer group will normally gives you a team. A team in turn can sit and plan strategies and innovation. It gets inhibited. In other words, it gets retarded for effective, productive life of the company. Now, these are some of the negatives that you find while doing remote office work or functioning from home. Now, since we lost valuable time for the last 10 minutes, I would straight away, instead of challenging you or you challenging me to ask questions, I would like to relate to you what career prospects can you look forward to in India and abroad. Now, the common career available abroad and India, I'll list it out to you. And those who are recording, I hope you got the permission from the organizers, or you can collect it from the tape which will be available to you. I'm going to list out the top industries. A census was carried out during mid 20 till date as to what are the top industry jobs available for you during this pandemic and likely for 2022. These are the healthcare services, the infotechnology and infotechnology enabled services, infrastructure, banking and finance, manufacturing industries, engineering, network or media, sales and investments, consulting services, of course, agriculture, the mainstay, leisure and hospitality, logistics, security industry, environmental and environmentalists, business. Then you have charitable trusts taking care of street child rescue missions, old age homes, support. Then hospitality and tourism. Then we have real estate. What I'm reading out is the top industries which are hiring, and at the same time, you can apply for and prepare yourself for these companies. Further, you have the gaming industry, both animation and other games that you are aware of, sports goods manufacturing, and of course, recently they added one more industry called the spyware technologies, wherein hackers, hackathon, and companies are coming out with softwares which will help gauging what's happening in the digital world, be it connected with finance, personal, or dealing with the government requirements. Then, of course, is your favorite assignment which you can apply for is in the airlines, government jobs, which has got list A, B, C, D, E, depending upon whether it's a white collared, blue collared. Now, most importantly today, I noticed large number of them are heading for government assignments, especially in the defense sector, defense services. Okay. In addition, there is a great demand for translators transcriptors. Of course, not forgetting our good old Sugi and company, the deliveries. Of course, with the energy requirement coming up, solar photovoltaic industry is coming up in a big way, wherein they require not only labor but also technical support. We, of course, the medical industry, I wouldn't call it a medical industry per se, but of course, the medical profession, wherein there's a great demand for psychologists, there's a great demand for your physical trainers, we got the great demand for pathologists. So, in that way, you can also build up your individual level. Now, of course, we should not forget that you can have a self employment in the form of startup companies. In my own community, when I say community where we are living the apartment complex, immediately after pandemic, 33% of the companies and those who have taken premature retirement, they all have moved in for their own private industries, including like gardening, landscaping, growing tulips, demand of flowers. It looks small, but frankly speaking, it fetches in a lot of profit. Of course, nowadays with the UAV and drones coming up, software programs and drone designing has come up as a great demand nowadays with the software requirements. Let's see, if you are not interested in going abroad, your exposure to top industries are in the digital marketing, medical professions, machine learning experts, in the blockchain development. In fact, our own government, the Niti Aayog, is referring to the blockchain developers and technical experts. Of course, there is the software engineers, and in the finance industry, the chartered accountants, the auditors. In the legal industry, I would use the word lawyers or as a profession. Then we have got the investment bankers, educationists, management consultants. Then, of course, the government has brought out what is called the PMKVY program, called the Skills Development Program. I was quite surprised when I was given a list of about nearly 2,250 skills available which you can tap on. In fact, the Indira Gandhi Open University had already listed out nearly 4,000 soft skill support systems, wherein you can do certificate courses of 3 months to 6 months to 2 years to diplomas, which will enhance your overall present capability of PU, graduate or postgraduate. Now, the other areas in India available are the security sector or security industries. There's a great demand for this, especially in vigilance, in security products, in security systems, in security related softwares. There is a great demand. Marine engineers and marine biologists, great demand. Civil services, I need not elaborate on this, for the IFS, IPS, IAS, CAPF, all these are available. Not forgetting even the media, both electronics and the print media, they are an opening for youngsters. Mechanical civil engineers, great in demand. And of course, cyber security specialists, company secretaries, you name it. Right now, there is a great demand presently as also post-pandemic. Now, these are what I've told you, the top industries open for you. However, you need to know what are the functional appointments available in the same industry. I'll speed it up a bit because of time. The top functional appointments available are in the human resources sector for both strategic and operational operator requirements. Then is, of course, the admin and HR, general management, finance, audit, consulting, customer services, info systems, operational systems, and of course, mentorship, front office, and of course, reception. Not lagging behind, advertisements. There's a great deal again in India, the functional appointments as translators, then into sales and services. Then there's a great requirement these days, motivational speakers. Then again, in the print, electronic, and gaming industry, appointments as technical experts, advisors, directors, editors. The best part is academics, teaching as a profession. Then design, architecture, sports trainers. Wow. Physiotherapists, physicians, nursing and allied support, medical support systems. Then, of course, there's a great requirement nowadays for caretakers. Real estate is again booming back. There, it's a hub by itself for non-tech and tech personalities. Security industry and security officers, security advisors, as also security trainers. Is a great requirement for these appointments. What am I talking to you about? I'm talking to you about careers post-pandemic. It is for those who have joined up in midway and in between the line got cut off. We are discussing about what are careers available during and post-pandemics. Ladies and gentlemen, what will be your assessment and requirement to join these professions or jobs? Number one is carry out a self-assessment. Unless you carry out a self-assessment, in my case, I do carry out a self-assessment right in front of a tall mirror. When you look into the eye, into your own image, it will speak to you. Your best friend is your own image. And of course, your dear parents, siblings, and good friends. Ladies and gentlemen, self-assessment is number one in my list, wherein you work out your own attitude. Are you an outgoing personality? Are you a perceptive personality? Are you flexible in accommodating and adapting yourselves to the environment of what the career or profession or job is available? Then what are your attributes? Ladies and gentlemen, what I mean is your skill set. Whether you're good in support services, whether good in creativity, whether you're good in support, or whether you're good in your own personal way, like you would like to do journalism, you would like to do the editorials, or would you like to do script editing? Find out what is the skill in you. In fact, I asked yesterday only when I was conducting a session for defense services, there were about 30 odd young youth who had applied for Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard. And I asked them, what are your skills that you feel you have it in you? Some of them did not understand. I said, okay, what are your hobbies and interests? Lo and behold, they started coming out one by one. Somebody said, I'm good in organizing events, cultural event. Somebody said, I'm good in climbing trees. So I said, how come? He says, I don't know why. Wherever I see cacti growing up in the trees, or parasitic plant growing, I would collect them and build up my own garden. And I do sales on that. So it all depends upon your hobbies and interests which you can develop to. Next is altitude. When I say altitude means your moral values, the character quality that you build up within your family through your dear parents, the moral values that you would like to pass on to your team, to your siblings, as also in the workplace. Let me assure you, ladies and gentlemen, all this talk of bribing, corruption is a limited affair. Not all the people are bad in terms of that. Having served in the defense forces in the organization with multicultural, multi-ethnic troops hailing from north, south, east, west of India, I realize it's your morals, values, character that will take you in your promotional aspects, as also you yourself build up. Right. Then, of course, assess yourself in your interpersonal relationship, your influence, and are you an impartial personality? Most often, I gauge a person during interviews. I conduct large number of interviews for companies, for the companies that they want to even build up their own team leaders into VPs and presidents. I always check, are you a perceptive personality? Can you visualize how to build up your company, including yourself? Are you a perceptive personality where creativity can be brought in? Are you a critical analyzer? Do you know what and where you ought to be after a particular number of years of putting in your efforts? And finally, are you a task oriented personality? Whether it's in business leadership, where you got to tackle racism, climate change, gender discrimination, and to identify how to tackle misinformation that may spoil your company's productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 skills have been found by leaders in industry. I'm going to rattle it out. The 9 skills that will help you succeed today, they are: number one, your soft skills; number two, a bachelor's program in communication and public relations, both oral, digital, and written; number three, critical thinking rationally. That means you got this problem solving skills. Are you tech savvy or not? You have to accept willy nilly. You got to build up your digital skill sets, data literacy, your computer programming, handling big data, the cloud, artificial intelligence, blockchain, of course, not forgetting robotics. Next, they found the skill that is required to succeed is in communication and emotional intelligence, that is social intelligence. Are you clear in your emails? Are you clear in your virtual meetings like we are having now? What exactly are you putting across to the youth today, to you? Creativity and innovation involving that you're adaptable to situations wherein you can steer your business to a new venture if need be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they also identified which are the 5 tech-savvy careers available today as also in the future. The 5 tech-savvy, according to researchers, are that robotics, engineering, data scientists, user experience, website designing, applications, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, all these, including computer science and applied maths, are the 5 tech-savvy careers for the future. Now, you may be wondering, sir, how do I go about getting all this? Certainly, you got to connect with the right company, the right people, and the right venturing into Google. Today, Google is here to stay, and you'll be able to tap into your requirements. However, you need to connect with people personally too if you want a career for the future. In addition to whatever I said so far, there are allied jobs. I'm talking about jobs like interpreters and translators, then statisticians, then your speech language pathologists are great in demand. You'll be surprised, animal trainers, gym trainers, landscaping business, gardening, woodwork, fashion and fashion designing, These are in addition to tech and non-tech that I had listed out earlier. Of course, for those who wish to have a permanent assignment, the government services are available. I will not deride politics. Nowadays, politics no more the earlier days. You got to be savvy in that too. I believe certain states have started training you for politics as politicians. I'm not asking you to go that far. Of course, defense services, joining Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, great in demand. Number two, public sector units, PSUs, research and development. Then, of course, you got the central and state appointments for the government services, wherein you can get permanent pay, regular pay coming in, medical service support, pensions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to join any of these, you still have got the academic institutions, private institutions. Earlier, they used to call it coaching centers. Rather, we call it now pre-training centers. We have done away with the coaching. Coaching requires long term. Then, of course, there's research and development. Private companies are there. You can also join up the intelligence branches of the various companies. Then, in the security industry, there are private academies for trainers, like firefighting trainers. You got the disaster management trainers, vigilance, forensics. There are also private companies for training you for various languages, not only Indian languages, but also foreign languages, and become a linguist. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't want to join academics, you can still join in the airlines business, in the logistics, in healthcare. Now, I'm not forgetting those who are retired. Certain places, some of you are taken premature retirement, and for retirees, you can continue with your old assignments as consultants, accounting in finance and audits, in admin as managers for projects, for customer service. The retired personnel, maybe your parents or maybe somebody young, though taken early premature retirement, they can be a point of contact for your respective companies with their experience. They can be also join up as editors for proofreading in education and training. Of course, as evaluators. I'm still an evaluator for a university for certain subjects because they found that I had the required qualification and that the maturity to do the necessary assignment. Writing for newspapers, magazines, a flexible job. While you are still working, you can still do it as a hobby and interest. Ladies and gentlemen, time is up. I know I have not given you time to carry out your queries. And before I sum up, if any one of you wish to know what are the careers post-pandemic, you can communicate with us. You can connect with Ms. Anne Maria Chaco, who is the moderator in the whole thing. She's working for a very important, elite, and upcoming company called the Cavalier Institutions. They are into this as advisors, as mentors, and bringing to you and connect with experienced personalities. Of course, I'm available also, but you got to come through this company. Now, those who are interested in joining the defense sector or the defense services, the same company also has what is called the Cavalier India for your advisory role to joining defense services. You'll be glad to know, even for the National Defense Academy, the government has announced ladies are now welcome to join. The 3 years training, and later on 1 more or 2 years of Army Air Force training to become commissioned officers. Now, those who are still desiring to wear uniform, there is this territorial army. It is a part-time joining the uniform, get back to your company or your startup own companies. Ladies and gentlemen, you can join up till the age of 42. From 18 to 42, you can join a part-time service for a defense as also wear uniform. Classic examples are there, which I'll later on, in case I get a chance to speak with you or meet with you, I can give them a list of those who are part-time in defense services. Ladies and gentlemen, by the time you raise your thumbs up for any queries, and for those who joined up midway, I've been covering careers post-pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, to sum up, I would like to just close up by saying that we need to carry out soul searching, remain calm. This is a God given time for you to bring back balance in your lives and in the lives of your parents, siblings, and your community. Number two, find out where the jobs are. Those who have joined up from outside state, I welcome you to connect with us. I gave you the name of the lady who will be in touch with you. Number three, reinvent, reevaluate, and prioritize work. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, living, work, living has to be balanced out. You can't burn yourself out just by working and not enjoy life. Next, I would like to tell you is, how do I refocus my present career? Or how do I reinvent my present job? Do I go in for resignation and start again? Before you step out, do consult. What are the pluses and minuses? In fact, I was very happy to find IITians, those who totally switched away from their technical requirements or assignment and switched over to non-technical subject. For example, landscaping. With the metro coming up in various cities, large number of spaces available between the pillars of the metro rails, with the government is leasing it out for those interested in landscaping and beautifying the areas. Government is ready to give you loans. You can use it as a hobby or interest and yet earn money. Next point I want to bring out is reassess your qualification. Where are you now? How do I build up my existing certification, diplomas or degrees? Need not be a postgraduate in anything, and yet with your diploma and existing 10+2 can take up a vocational assignment. The other point I want to bring out is try and show up in person as fast, as much at the job site. Wherever your job requirement is, do not hesitate. Follow the COVID protocols or the pandemic protocols. I tell you, you will get better contact, better network if you show up at the office instead of staying at home and do remote work. Now, remember, demand for new products are increasing. One never thought that delivery will be an important assignment. Look at Swiggy and look at all the supply chain that they have started off, and they are doing well for themselves as for the society. So demand for new products is going to ever increase. So therefore, critical thinking and reinventing business is essential. Those who are already in startup or are in business or working, you've got to reinvent. This includes academics also. The company that has come up with beautiful programs for BCA, BSc, you'll notice that they added on a compact program. Subject like defense services is included in the syllabus, duly recognized by the relevant universities. As for Bangalore, they have got recognition from the Bangalore University and Bangalore University in North to make, I wouldn't use the word hybrid programs, I would use the word composite programs. You'll be surprised to find a technical subject being introduced to a non-tech subject, say commerce, economics. A non-technical subject being introduced into a technical subject. In fact, I myself have been taking subjects on corporate social responsibilities, disaster management, environmental sciences, including your business communication. So this is here to stay. You have to have an overall holistic approach to academics. Don't just get stick to one line, hoping that you will become just a doctor, engineer, and that end up being that. No, you got to build up your career in your own interest. Next is that we companies those are already having talent, they must arrest the increasing resignations, retaining them through regular test checks, interviews, and company leadership must make sure that the talent doesn't flow away to other sectors if they can retain it for their own good. Now, what I want to bring out is it's time we change the way we work. Remember, talent is global. Go where the talent is. I'm repeating it for the interest of the business leaders. Talent is global. Go where the talent is. Talent is multifold. Talent is all over the place. Talent is at home, nearer home. At the same time, look out for them. Talent searching is an attribute, an attitude of a good company. Ladies and gentlemen, I close up now inviting you that you're welcome to connect with, as I told you, with the company that I just mentioned. You're welcome to connect with me too. I'll be a pointsman for you to identify where you stand today and where you can head for. Remember, we are not living just to work. We have to balance out our lifestyles, balance out our expenditures and expenses, and balance out our lifestyle for the future. It all depends upon your priorities in life, your life's ambition. For that, you got to develop your existing skills. And if you already have those skills, develop it further, be it vocational, academic, or executive skills. I'll end up by saying, wish you all the best. May you grow, glow, and make yourself known by living a legacy for the family, leaving a legacy for your generations to come. In closing, I want to thank the organization, especially Ms. Anne Maria Chaco, who has mentored us through this in spite of a break in between. If you have any queries, you're welcome to tap in